Ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. Today I have what I think is the cheapest M1 MacBook Pro for sale on eBay. And of course I bought it. So the listing says it's for a 2017 12-inch. But if we look at the pictures, you can see this is the 2020 refresh of the MacBook Pro. We have the scissor key switches with the touch bar, and scrolling through the photos, they're all of that same computer. Now, it does have this black bar on the display, and I think that's why the price is at $299, but I paid $254 for this MacBook, and the seller sent me the serial number, which I was able to test, and turns out it is in fact an Apple M1 MacBook Pro. So, with all that said, let's get it opened up and see what we have inside. And here is the MacBook. This is definitely a 2020 MacBook Pro. And let's open it up and see if it powers on. Looks like the battery's dead. I'm going to plug it in, and once it has a little power, we'll be back. I'm actually going to use my power brick here, which has a 100-watt USB-C output. And we can see just how much power this machine's going to draw to charge. All right, looks like 45 watts should be enough to get this thing powered on. And there we go. We are met with a half-completed startup screen. We'll go ahead and finish this, and once we're at the home screen, we'll check this thing out. Okay, here we are at the home screen of the MacBook Pro. Let's check about this Mac and see which model we have. Oh, look at that. We've got the M1. We have 16 gigabytes. Now I'm curious how much storage this thing has. 512. So this is the upgraded. They spent an extra 200 on RAM and an extra 200 on storage. Very nice. Now, obviously, the elephant in the room is this display here, and I don't actually know what this is. I mean, it's like obviously discolored, and it looks like there's a little bit of like leftover image retention there from the setup screen. I wonder if we put something like this here, if that part of the image will stay. And it looks like it's not. So, very strange. It's also flickering. I'm not sure if that shows up on camera, but it's like, it's going back and forth very quickly. And you can see here how the text, like, it's almost like it like extends down, it droops. But I mean, it's not the end of the world, and you could certainly plug this into a monitor and use it as like a Mac Mini with a battery, a keyboard, and a trackpad. So again, I think I'll put the price right here. This is how much I paid for it, and as far as I know, that's the cheapest working MacBook Pro in the world. This thing has no iCloud accounts. Let me just double check that to be sure that it's not activation locked. And it's not. You can see right here, activation lock status is disabled. So this is awesome. Let's look at the battery. 19 charge cycles at 100% capacity. That's amazing. Whoever owned this must have damaged it like within the first month of having it, and they just gave up on it and sold it. I mean, this thing is like brand new. So it's running macOS Ventura. Let's go ahead and update this to Sonoma. Oh, I'm not on the internet. All right, let me get connected and then we'll do that. Now we should be able to get an update. So the battery was completely dead. It's only at 5% now, and it's been charging. Now it's up to almost 60 watts of power. I mean, this computer is super power efficient. So 5% will probably last like 30 minutes or maybe an hour, depending on what you're doing. You know, interestingly, I've noticed the keyboard is a little bit sticky in some areas. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that on the video here. Like that, you can hear that key definitely did it. Yeah, some of these, like this area, I think someone spilled something, which is unfortunate. But it still works. I think it'll be worthwhile opening this up and seeing if there's any liquid damage on the inside and getting that cleaned up before it spreads and gets worse. So there you have it. I mean, this is a beautiful computer. Apart from this, it's got the Apple M1 chip, which is really powerful, 16 gigabytes of RAM and half a terabyte of storage. I am impressed for that price point. This is a tremendous deal. And yeah, if you're able to find one of these, go for it. Especially if you can find one with Apple Care, you can get this replaced for, I don't know how much it is, but that would be a tremendous deal. And I mean, overall, this computer is in great condition. If we look at, apart from the display here, like there's no damage anywhere on this MacBook. Usually the corners and the edges get kind of scuffed up, especially in the space gray model here. But I'm not seeing any of that. The ports look good. The bottom looks good. Some fingerprints there because it's actually cold. It was outside on my front porch. But yeah, I mean, this thing is, apart from that display, this thing is flawless. So you could hook this up to a monitor and you don't even have to bring your own mouse and keyboard. You can use the trackpad, and this keyboard is really nice. It feels great to type on. So this, I mean, this was even cheaper than the M1 Mac Minis, and those have actually fallen quite a bit in price. So while we're at it, let's see what the actual cheapest model is available that does not have an iCloud lock. So the cheapest usable M1 computer. So you can look here, this is about how much I paid. And you can see that this one is activation locked and it's only a MacBook Air. And I'm sure that one has the base specs. Okay, so here's a display. So for the price of the entire computer, I could buy a display and replace it. I'm not sure that's really worth it because then we're talking at a little over $500. Okay, here's one. What's going on with this one? It looks to be okay. It's got the box and the charger. Where is the description? Oh yeah, iCloud locked. It's a huge problem for these M1 computers. Yep, here's a Pro with the base model specs, and you can see it's activation locked. Okay, here's one that has some display damage like mine, but it appears to be fully functional. Now this is a MacBook Air, I'm assuming base specs, 8 gigabytes, and yeah, 250 gigabyte SSD. And the seller says, well, they don't talk about the damage. Oh, here we go. Cracked screen, but no iCloud lock. So this is probably the next cheapest functioning M1 computer on eBay. And this is coming in at $340 plus tax. That's quite a bit more than I paid, almost $100 more. So I think I got a tremendous deal. Oh, here's one, $350. I'll be shocked if this is a fully functioning MacBook Air. If it is, one of you guys got to get this because this is a good deal. Let's see. Yep. You can tell it's a MacBook Air M1 because it has the Do Not Disturb and the little microphone button. On the Intel models, they have the keyboard brightness. Obviously here you can see that as well. So what's wrong with this one? Oh yeah, this is a scam. Here we go. If you're not willing to pay with Apple Pay or Cash App, please don't make an offer. If you see something like this, this is this is not a real listing. And I should probably report this because this is just someone who's looking to get some money and run away and not actually send you the product. And that's why it's listed so cheap. Here's another parts only. It's got a black display there on the side. Almost $400. I don't know how far down we have to go to get a functioning. Oh, maybe, no, that's an i3. What's wrong with this? Oh, it's got display. Yep. Cracked display or iCloud, that's going to be the problem. All right, here we go. These look like they're functional. So for $400, you can get a Mac Mini M1. I'm sure this is going to be base configuration. Yep, 8 gigabytes, 256. Let's make sure there's no problems with it. Yeah, it looks like it's okay. So a little over $400, that's going to get you the cheapest functional M1 computer with no problems. But that's like $150 more than I paid for this. And, well, this is like a Mac Mini, but you get the keyboard, you get the trackpad, and you get a battery. So even if the power goes out, you still have a little bit of time. Well, actually a lot of time with this because it's the battery lasts for like 20 hours. But all right, that's been it. That's been a look at what I think is the cheapest functional M1 computer in the world, at least here at the end of 2023. This thing's in phenomenal condition, and if you're able to find one like this, I highly recommend getting it, especially at this price point. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in another one. As always, thanks for watching.